In this video, we're going to explore NewsBank, one of the databases that Jenkins makes available to its members 24/7 from the desktop at home or in the office. To get access to NewsBank, mouse over Research, Member Databases, and then select NewsBank from the list. As you can see here, I've already logged into the Jenkins website by entering my last name and member number, so all I need to do is click on the Access button and I'll go directly into NewsBank. I'm going to select the United States resources, and you can see at the top of the page there's well over 3,200 sources nationwide. And I could do a nationwide search if I'm interested, but in this video I'm going to focus on Pennsylvania. So I select Pennsylvania. I see there's more than 170 PA resources, and they're organized on the page by city. You can see as you scroll down this list the major cities in Pennsylvania. When you get down to Philadelphia, you'll see that the Daily News and the Inquirer have basically at least 30 years of coverage, which I think is amazing that you have that much coverage in a newspaper archive. What I can also do is resort the list by type of content, and you can see here we have blogs, we have college newspapers, we have the general circulation newspapers. As we get down to the bottom of the list, you can see transcripts and videos from local news programs. Again, another interesting resource added into NewsBank. Now I'm going to do a Pennsylvania search for Marcellus Shale, which is a topic that's in the news. Something that has crept up on me. I wasn't really paying attention to it, and I'm going to focus on, in the upper left-hand corner there, the listing by year, because it's a sort of a timeline, and I can see that the topic came into the news, in at least as far as Pennsylvania is concerned, beginning in 2007. This can be a very useful feature if you want to know when did this story break, when did it start to become popular or important. You can use this timeline feature. So if you select 2007, I can go back to the earliest article in the database in Pennsylvania on the topic. And there is the full text of it. Obviously you don't get any images, but at least you have the text of the article. And if you go to print it, the best way to print it is to select the article or save it by clicking the checkbox. And then when the option presents itself for printing, you can print the article, and it strips out the frames and any of the extra content on the page, and you just get the plain text. NewsBank is great. It doesn't include images, as I said before. Also, some of the wire stories aren't going to be available from the newspapers. They weed them out. And also classified ads, things like that. Now, I'm going to do another search, and I'm going to search for Michael Nutter, who is the current mayor of Philadelphia. I'm searching on Mayor Nutter because, again, I want to focus on that timeline and show how far back it can go. The previous example only was 3 or 4 years. In this case, Michael Nutter is available. Articles about him, mentioning him, go back to the early 80s. And this to me illustrates perfectly the value of the timeline. You can see back in the early 80s there was a few mentions of him. There were many more when he was in the city council. But if you look at the list, the mentions of Michael Nutter spike in 2007. That was the year he ran for and won the office of the mayor of the city of Philadelphia. So you can see that spike there, and that's also very useful if you want to know when was an important year in anybody's life or in a company's life, whatever. You can follow that timeline. So I find that the timeline feature is a very, very useful feature in NewsBank. NewsBank is an excellent resource. As I have alluded to a couple times, and I'm going to say it one more time, you get the news stories from the newspapers. You don't get the classifieds, you don't get images, you don't get content like that. Even the wire stories sometimes are omitted because they're not original content. But if you want to do people research or background research or company research, this is an excellent resource, and it's part of your Jenkins membership.